Holy crap! What an ending! Based on the Brock Henderson here. This is episode 8. Okay. Take a minute to get my bearings. For the majority of this episode, I was like, this is still a Marvel show, right? This is mainly just getting to know Kilgrave a bit more about his aspirations, why he's doing all this for Jessica. And excuse me if I kind of pause for a second, because I'm eating like while I'm watching, and so yeah, sometimes hiccup or cough or something might happen. Just part of what makes these videos a bit more real, not editing. I'm just kidding. I don't edit because I don't have money. Anyway, so you learn a bit more about Kilgrave and what he really wants. And in fact, you even find out why he is how he is. But for a majority of this episode, it's Jessica trying to figure out whether or not she can still trust him. And obviously, trust him is obviously you can't trust him, but she's trying to figure out what's the right word. It's not really trust, but as soon as she learns kind of how broken he is, and that his parents are the really main reason behind it, just because of how they treated him and everything he was subjected to as a kid. And obviously she doesn't see that as an excuse because she went through similar stuff with her. Her parents weren't evil, but she lost them at a young age, and she didn't turn out to be a psychopath. So she doesn't see that as an excuse, but at the same time, he kind of seems like maybe he wants to learn how to do better. And so, I don't know, first, half of this, I was just sitting here like, this is supposed to be Marvel, where's all the superheroes and stuff, because it was all, it didn't feel like Marvel at all. And it wasn't bad, but when I have certain expectations of Marvel, whenever they kind of go away from that, it does distract a bit. Because, it was almost like they were playing house for the first part. He's trying to do better about, I don't know, it's like he's trying to show Jessica that they can be together. And it's all very strange and awkward, but there's still some good scenes. The two in particular I can think of is the one scene with the neighbor. She comes over and just says all this really bad stuff about Jessica's family. And we do get to see, we do get to see a bit more of her family and what happened and how they died and stuff. Kind of a sad way how they died. She and her brother were fighting in the car about a Game Boy, and then her dad turns around, and the next thing you know, slamming into the back of a truck. So that was, I understand why there's a lot of guilt there, because I could see how she would think that's her fault, because her dad turned around to stop them from fighting. But anyway, this neighbor comes over. She's like an older lady, and she seems like that lady that just kind of sticks her nose into her neighbor's business when she shouldn't. But she just kept talking bad about Jessica's family, saying that they fought a lot, saying that they were a strange family, all this stuff. And then Kilgrave is just... Now, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he asked her if she actually heard any of this stuff or saw any of this stuff, and she's like, tell the truth. No. So why would you say that stuff? Because I want to feel important. And he kind of almost gets onto her. He's like, that's a pretty crappy thing to do, isn't it? What would you want to do if somebody came up and did that talking about your family? I'd probably want to slap him in the face And I was really hoping he was going to tell her to slap herself because that would have been hysterical. But Jessica, he looks at Jessica and she just kind of shakes her head no. He's like, all right, you can leave. But it's like he's still controlling people, but he promises not to control Jessica. So, there's that. He's trying to. I guess it's this show of good faith for her, that he's not going to try to control her. And so, like I said, you kind of feel a bit sorry for him, just because, yeah, his parents were douchebags. At least we see the flash drive that Jessica dug up with the help of Reva, Luke Cage's ex-wife, and he plugs it in, and we get to see videos of him as a kid, what his parents did to him as a kid, and I did feel a bit bad for him. I didn't sympathize. I didn't say, oh, well, that's okay that you kill people because of this. But I did understand it a bit more, and it made me feel bad for him, and you could kind of see that with Jessica. And she finally, at one point, she says, so nobody taught you how to do good? Because he has this moment where it's like, do you really think that this gift that I have is a blessing? Like, do you realize how many times I have to choose my words carefully? I once told a man to go screw himself. And, yeah, that... I could see how that could get a little bit rough. And so Jessica's like, okay, come with me. They're watching a story on the news about this father who's like holding his family at gunpoint. So they break in with a bit of, these are not the droids you're looking for. It was pretty funny because first cop comes up to him and she's like, well, you're gonna let us through. And he's like, come on in. And then two other cops come up and he's like, just don't mind us. We're allowed to be here. And then they get inside the fence and she's like, wow, way to go, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm just like, that's exactly what I was thinking. But he goes inside, talks the father down. It has a bit of a moment though where he's like, put the shotgun in your mouth. It's like, this man would be better off dead anyway. And Jessica kind of has to talk him through it. It's not for you to decide. Tell him to go turn himself in. So he does. The father goes and turns himself in. And, it kind of feels like maybe this could work. It would kind of be a bit anticlimactic, and because of the fact that this is only the 8th episode, it's kind of like, I doubt this is how they're going to end it. But I wasn't sure where they were going from here, because it seemed like this might be an opportunity for him to get what he wants and maybe stop hurting people, but her also to kind of achieve a victory by helping him become a better person. But because this is Marvel and nothing ever works out as easily as we'd like it to, it's not what happens. Jessica leaves, talks to Trish, tries to get her opinion on it, and he's kind of asking herself, what would Trish do? And Trish kind of denies that she would help him be a better person, but Jessica's like, you're just saying that because you don't want me to have to try. And so Jessica gets back. He has these two people that are under his control. They're both like servants for him right now, cooking and cleaning and stuff. And there's like this fail-safe built in where I think if Jessica does anything to cause a disturbance, they'll slit their throats. And there's one scene where she throws a bottle to test that, like out of frustration, and they both like stand next to her and hold knives up to their neck. And so she brings home dinner and starts feeding it to him and to the two servants. And of course he's hesitant to eat it. And she's like, relax, you can't ingest Stifenol or whatever, the drug that she gave him. But then all of a sudden, like, the servants fall over, and then he's like, what? And she comes up from behind him and sticks him in the neck with the drug. It's like, this is what Jessica would do. And so starts to take him outside. The bodyguard Hank that he paid to protect him tackles her, is about to shoot her, despite the fact that, pretty much just because he's been paid. That's the only reason that he's going to help his client. But then, by the way, Simpson, that's the cop's name. I finally got it. I always feel so good when I've been through like 3 reviews. I'm just like, I can't remember that cop's name. And then all of a sudden, on the 8th episode, it's Simpson! I finally remember it just because they said his name near the end of the episode. And so, yeah. Booyah! Anyway, it should be easy to remember because The Simpsons. But he steps in, shoots the bodyguard, and says, okay, all right, Jessica, you've dealt with him, you've knocked him out, now let me finish the job. And Jessica's just like, no. And we did see a scene earlier where he's like recruiting 2 of, I guess, his army friends. Trish catches him, and he kind of says, just stay away. It was just kind of a bit of dialogue. But she's just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And so he tries. Wait, no. What was I saying? Oh yeah, she jumps off and kind of does her kind of flying thing away. I'm just like, I can see that coming. But then all of a sudden, the nosy neighbor walks up. Says, "Are you Officer Simpson?" I'm just like, oh crap. She's like, "Kilgrave asked me to show this to you." She holds out a bag, and earlier in the episode, Simpson put C4 in the basement to blow up the house with Kilgrave in it, which Jessica, talked him out of it, talked him out of trying to kill Kilgrave, and then told Kilgrave about the bomb and got it removed. And so as soon as she said, "Kilgrave has something to show you," I'm like, oh crap. And sure enough, she's holding up the phone as he's looking inside, and he sees it just in time. She presses it, and he and his friends dive away. It looks like he probably made it out okay. He'll definitely have some injuries. I'm pretty sure I saw some shards of glass like sticking out of him. But I think he's still alive. Probably just really injured. But the woman definitely not okay. Her arm was over there, and then her clothes were over there, and then I'm pretty sure her legs were over there. She's not okay. And man, just that's how it ends. And it was out of nowhere. Like this whole episode was just kind of like I was watching. I'm just like, not that it wasn't interesting. It's just not my type of stuff. Like all the relationship stuff and all this talking and explaining and like, I don't know. It was a lot of talking, and it just didn't feel like Marvel. Like I want a bit of action, and there was really no action up until the very end. And now, I'm not gonna. I want to just explain, because when I say there's no action, so I wasn't that interested. It doesn't have to have action to be interesting. I'm not one of those Transformer, fanboys. I used to be. But it's just like, oh, explosions, yes, I want to see robots fighting. I don't know why I'm Asian right now. Because Michael Bay put China in the last Transformers movie, of course. But no, I don't have to have action for it to be interesting. But it was a bit slower than the past few episodes. And it was just, I was trying to follow it, and I could basically get what was being said fairly easily. They did explain a lot. And so, I don't know, it was just, and on top of that, it was just weird. Her and Kilgrave being together, and her not just taking him out. And so, I was just, I'm watching it, I'm just like, okay, okay, oh, this is interesting. He's going to save a guy, okay. Alright, they're back. Oh, she's taking him. Wow, that was out of no. Oh, there's Officer Simpson. Okay, holy crap, she exploded. It just, like, up until the end, not a whole lot was going on, and then just boom. out of nowhere. And so it really caught me by surprise, and I like it when a show can do that. Where some shows are like build up, build up, build up to nothing. And this show has been building, building. They already had kind of a pre-climax, I guess. Some shows do this where they set up the story. They have like a first fight, and then set up a bit more for the second fight. Have the second fight, set up a bit more, move the story forward, and then start setting up for the final fight. And that's what the show feels like it's doing. You know, they had the first encounter with Kilgrave, and they had some other stuff going on. Had last episode's encounter with Kilgrave, and now it's kind of setting up for the final like showdown with Kilgrave and everything's gonna happen. And it does help to know all of this is probably an act, because if he's sending the lady next door with a bomb to take out Officer Simpson, obviously he's not trying to do good. So anyway, once again, the villain proves to be an excellent villain. Good backstory, possibility that he might turn good, and then in the end revealed, no, not at all. And then there's, if I'm being honest, the stuff with Hogarth and her wife and the whole divorce settlement stuff going on really does not interest me at all. I don't know why it's in the show. I really don't. Hogarth seems like she's an interesting character, but this whole thing with the divorce and having an affair with her secretary, and I don't know, it's just, why is it in there? You know, it really just feels like it's, you know, oh well, let's give her character something to do when she's not helping Jessica. Oh, she'll be going through a divorce. Like, I honestly thought it was just going to be something that happened and that's it. But now it's like, it's a recurring thing where every episode she's like, Jessica, give me information on my wife. Just like, she has nothing. Jessica's already researched her. She has nothing. So anyway, that part is frustrating me. I feel like they're just dragging it on so long and they don't need to. Maybe it'll tie in somehow. I don't know. It might. But for right now, the main plot with Kilgrave and Jessica is moving along very well. Nice little turn they took just to turn it right back. But I like that. I like that they tried to, you know, fake us into believing that he could turn good, and then just kidding, he's not. So yeah, this is a really good episode. Maybe not for the people searching for action-packed episodes, but very good ending. So excited to see what happens in the next episode, all this new information, and what happens now that she's taking Kilgrave in officially. So that's it for this review. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.